Secret identity. I popped. Hello everyone. Today's lesson is going to be about how to draw people's bodies in proportion and their face. And I'm going to be talking about it in realistic terms and in cartoon terms. So both of those. And I'm going to, these next few DrawBetter lessons, well, next few is probably going to be like a lot. These next a lot DrawBetter lessons are going to be about drawing the human body because it's going to take a long time to do that. And I want to break it down into little bits. And oh my gosh, I just realized how terrible my hair looks. Whoa. Okay, let's go. Okay, first I drew a diagram of basically people proportions, and this is an adult proportion. It's a female one because that was easier for me, but pretty much male one follows the same principles proportion wise, so it doesn't matter. And I drew a child, which could be male and female, and a fat baby, and I drew Kirby for no reason. When I've read a bunch of drawing books, I have had different answers about how many heads tall a person is going to be. And I think that's because people tend to be different sizes. So I decided to go with the average number that I found, and that would be 7.5. So this is the average size of a human in proportion. And this is heads tall. So this is 7.5 heads tall. And then Kirby pretty much is just a head with feet and arms. It's important to note that the elbows fall right at the waist, and this is the waist. Waist is right above the belly button, not the hips. This is the hips. Everyone thinks this is their waist. It's not. This is your waist. And your elbow falls right in that area. I found that a good thing to know, because a lot of people have a hard time getting arm lengths when they first start drawing people, and they either get them too long, but mostly they get them too short. Arms are a lot longer than you think. And then down here is your crotch, and your hands fall right below the crotch line, and that's the same with the child and the fat baby and pretty much all proportions except for Kirby, because Kirby's not human. And your waist is slightly above your belly button, and it's the smallest point in your body. Unless you are a fat baby, then it might not be the smallest point in your body. But it's mostly the smallest point in your body. Okay, let me show you an example. If you spread your arms out all the way from one tip to the other tip, see? From here, very tip of your finger, all the way across to the other tip of your finger, that is the length of your whole body. So next time someone asks you how tall you are, this is what you say. This tall. Because it's true. Okay, I'm gonna do a step-by-step how to draw a person in proportion like this. You don't really need to draw all these lines for the heads, how many heads tall it's going to be if you don't want to. But for this demonstration, I will do it for you. I can't fit the ruler. With the camera. 7.5 inches. And then mark it. Dun, 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 dun. Now, the head is going to take up the whole first square, so just draw an oval to start with. It's going to be our base for the head. And for the neck, some people like to do basically what can be called the skeleton different ways. Some people like to do more circles or more lines. I'm just going to show you how I would do it. We'll make this one a man. since I have a girl in the example. Hopefully I can draw a suitable male today. And I use the little circles for the shoulders right here. I basically, when I do this, I sort of just draw a ball jointed doll. When I draw the base. I do bases different ways when I'm in different moves. I'm in a ball jointed doll mood today apparently. These, the thighs and the other half of the leg are usually about the same size. And we'll make this little square down here. You can see. We'll make it for the feet. And the feet have to be foreshortened. So this one kind of looks like hooves at the bottom. He doesn't have arms. Let's grab him some arms. And since right here, see where these two meet up? That's where his waist is, right here. That's where his waist is. So his elbow is going to be right here. That's if his arm is hanging down, of course. But if you're in different poses and stuff, it can change. But first we want to understand how the body is, and then we can do different poses. Do simple things first, and then you do complicated things. So that looks like a very stubby man. Okay, well that's okay. I would have just made this a little bit shorter and the legs a bit longer if I wanted to. But people have different proportions in that area. Like some people have long legs, some people have short legs. This man is having some shortish legs. So now we're going to flesh out the skeleton that we made. I like to start at the top and work down in the most natural way. Spiky red hair. Now there's right here a bump, because this is a muscle right here. So there's a bump between these two. And how much of a bump there is just depends on how muscular the person is. And usually males are naturally more muscular and have sort of more square shapes to their body. I think that's the easiest way to do it is females are more circle shaped and males are more square shaped. I'm going to do a whole video in the future. This will be male versus female and all the differences between them. I think I'm really looking forward to that one. It sounds the most fun. But people think dudes don't have hips, but I was looking at this photography book, this old photography book, and there's a dude in there, and he had hips better than me, so I don't know what people are saying about dudes not having hips. Ah! I'm doing a drawing video and I can't draw today. Don't you hate that? You're welcome, world. You're welcome. And then, so I sort of like go in here and then go out a little bit. I actually forgot that, but when I was preparing for this video, I noticed. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what legs do. Do these look like man legs? I'm not sure. I have problems making men look a bit weird, like a little bit feminine. I'm not do that. I'm trying to draw a real man. His neck is like, this is what you have to do sometimes. No matter how much you're preparing, you just have to erase the whole head. Just erase the whole head. Then put the neck back in, because you want it centered. I think I started like growing crooked on my way down. See, I'm just not today. I can't even talk. I can't even narrate. I can't draw. I can't narrate. Let's maybe if we give him a belly button, he'll look better. So, this is his waist. Right here. You see? His belly button would be right there, and it probably wouldn't be that big. But he's got a big belly button. He's a special person. Maybe I need to draw a little more uppy downy. Does that look like man boobs? Tell me. Oh, I also figured something out. I'm not sure if this is just in cartoons, but I've noticed that male collarbones curve slightly. I need to like study some male collarbones in real life to see if it's for real. But here, I'll draw a neck right here. I'm gonna put this in my male versus female video. But see, female ones are like straight, like this, while male ones are like slightly curving, like this. At least that's what I think. And it seems to work. I drew this one person, and then they have long hair and look girly, but then I gave him those collarbones, and I was like, you look like a male. Let's erase some more of these guidelines. Yes, I'm not putting clothes on him because this is not clothes lesson. This is body lesson. You have to learn to draw the bodies before you can learn to draw the clothes. Because if you try to learn to draw the clothes and the bodies at the same time before you learn what's underneath, then you can just tell. You can just tell you don't know what you're doing. So elbow pits are male in proportion, and I want to see something. I want to see if we measure from here right here. Oh my gosh, it is his height. So we did it correctly. Congratulations. Like using that boning method I showed you of drawing the head and then drawing like the rest of it, very simple ways, actually helps in getting poses really fast. Because then you don't get distracted by all the little things. You just have like this, and then you can flesh it out. And that was a terrible pose, but you get what I mean. Basically, do the boning first, and then do the flesh it out if you're having a hard time doing poses. Next, I'm going to show you step by step how to draw this face. You're going to want to draw a circle very lightly. Hope you can see that. And draw a line down, a straight line down to the circle. If you have a really hard time drawing straight lines like I do, you can use a ruler if you like. At the bottom, you're going to start forming a chin. Should I make this realistic or anime? I'm gonna try to make it realistic. I'm gonna do my best. I don't know how to draw today. Now this bottom line right here of the circle, bottom of the circle, you're going to want to draw a straight line across. You're going to draw another line across the top of that for how tall you want the eyes. It looks like I'm drawing an anime person because I just made that huge. And you're going to draw two boxes basically. The space between the eyes should be the same size as the eyes. So like you could fit a third eye in between here. You should be able to do that. I want to make these eyes slightly smaller and try not to make like a giant anime eye person. But yeah, if you're drawing anime characters or if you're drawing normal realistic people, you follow the code of they're one eye apart if you're drawing either one. It looks like the first drawing is just going to be anime person, guys. Now, you're going to want the eye, the iris, the eyeball, this part, you want it to be slightly hooded by the top hood, but not completely touching the bottom. And I'm basically saying realistic terms, that's how you draw eyes. But this is kind of in the anime style. Maybe I can turn it realistic as I go along. Also for eyes, you probably want a pupil. how big you want your pupil. I was about to say pupil. How big you want your pupil is up to you. These eyes are not drawn very good. Oh, guys, I'm sorry about my drawing skills today. I'm sorry. You're also going to want a, an eyelid. So, just draw an eyelid in there. And using this method to draw the eyes helps the eyes to get the same size. Because I know it's really hard a lot of times for just certain days, or just some people are just like, oh my gosh, I can never draw eyes the same size. So this method of drawing these boxes, it looks kind of like a band-aid on our face. It helps with the eyes. And then afterwards you erase it. We're going to go down somewhat below the eyes. You don't want the nose too close to the eyes, or they're going to look like a freaking alien. And just draw it however you want, because that's how life is today. Just draw it however you want. And then slightly below the nose, you want to center it on. You want to center it with the nose. You're going to draw the mouth. The mouths are really hard to draw, but I have found a trick. You draw the top lip, and you shade the top lip completely in. If you want to draw a realistic mouth, the best bet is to just look at yourself in the mirror and draw your mouth 300 times. I'm not even kidding. Okay. And so you shade it in, the top lip. And then the bottom lip, you start at the bottom, and you just hint at it. You just hint at the bottom lip. And I found that to be the easiest way to draw, like, just a simple closed mouth. I'll probably do another lesson that specifies in, like, the features, the mouths, in different position, and the nose and stuff. This is more about the placement of each one. You may be thinking that something is missing. Well, lots of things are missing. Like the ears. And the ears fall. See the nose right here? Let me draw a line for you. Bottom of the nose, all the way across. Okay, see that? Yes, you can. That is where the ears go. Now, if you have your head, so I'm not used to working with guidelines, okay, guys? So it's throwing me off. But yeah, working with guidelines at the beginning when you're first learning to draw is really helpful. I have done it a lot, but now I really don't use it very much, almost at all. The thing I do use though all the time still is the band-aid eyes, so you can get the eyes in the right place. That is super helpful. And just keep fixing it. It might take forever you to get very simple drawing right, because that's how life is. The eyebrows are driving me insane because they're not there. So let's add that. The eyebrows are just slightly above the eye and about the length or longer than the eye. But I have seen people have eyebrows that are shorter, that are like just to here. And I've seen people have eyebrows that are like way here. And eyebrows are over here. So eyebrows are very different on every person. So there really is the secret to eyebrows. There's just trying to make them both look the same. Now the neck. I'm gonna say again, different people have different necks. Like buff people, I've seen people's necks like go out to here. I've seen people's necks go to here, and I've seen people's necks go to here. So it just depends on your neck. Usually if they curve in like this, is more if you're like thinner neck. If they curve out like this, it's more if you're like a buff person neck. Because the buff people got necks that curve out like that. So if you want a buff person, you curve their neck out. If you want a more slender looking person, you curve their neck in. And if you just want a medium person, you make their neck straight. I usually draw my necks when I'm drawing illustrations a lot thinner than they actually are. I usually draw them here. It's actually a lot thinner than actual necks. Like, look at my neck. It goes here, here. I have a relatively thin neck, but it's a lot wider than I usually draw necks. So you need your neck to support your whole head. And I think it's good to know how things look like realistically when drawing basically an illustration or a cartoon style drawing, because it helps a lot to make your drawing look more, I don't know, it just makes your drawing look better for some reason. If you can just tell you know what you're doing. This girl has no hair. This girl has no hair. I'll give her little earrings. Let's give her some hair. How should her hair be? Me and my sister, I'm not going to give her like bangs, whatever sort of bangs. We have realized that all anime girls have bangs, and it is driving us insane because neither of us have bangs, and we're just like, ah, this is not fair. Why do all the purple hair burns? Too many people are drawn with bangs, and the world is not representing the bangless people. The bangless people of the world. Oh yeah, that's some shade to the eye. Now I'm going to show you how to draw this realistic face using the same guidelines we used for the cartoon looking face. Okay, I want to draw another picture that's actually a realistic one, so it's not just showing you cartoon face, but I need a reference photo because my brain doesn't work in realistic terms. And I found this on my iPod, and it was most straight on view, but you can tell her ears are higher than her nose because she is looking down. And her head is 3D, so the lines right here are like curved lines. So whenever you move your head, the lines sort of move with it in a 3D way, so you have to sort of think of that. So I'll show you my own face. Here is straight on. It's lined up. And then down, it's curved. The line right here curves. This, and here it curves down here. So it's still the same line, but it's curving. So I'm going to start this off the same way with a circle in the middle and a line going through the center. So I can draw straight lines today or any day. It might help if you're using a reference photo to print the reference photo out and actually draw the guidelines onto the reference photo so that you can see it on the photo and on your picture as you're drawing it. 'Cause I've done that before, and that helped me see things better. It's curved, everything's going to be curved. Even the eye placement stuff is going to curve like this. Maybe not quite like this. Oh! See how the top lip is darker? And then the bottom lip is just hinted at right there? See, that's my lip trick. Those ears look almost pointed from this angle. Oh my gosh, I got a text! Right in the middle sucked at narrating that part. I was really focused to actually draw a good realistic picture.